Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Shift with Ade Adeshida. I was reminded actually of a young man who is so brilliant, talented, and has got skills. This man was wrongfully actually jailed. And while he was in jail, which was not a very good place to be, while he was in jail, there's these two men there right there in jail as well who also were jailed too. Apparently, these two men happens to be working for the king at the time in my favorite book, right? And this young man was Joseph. He was so the two young men in the prison and met in the prison happened to be working for Pharaoh, who happens to be king then at the time. And because Joseph had a great gift of interpreting dreams and has been doing this since while he was a young man and all that, even while he was even envied by his own folks, his own brothers, his own, even at a point in time when he shared his dream, his father was also, somehow against him. As you know, that his father loved him so much that he gave him a coat of many colors. Anyway, he was more a man who really has great potential, who was going to do a lot, who anticipated to do much for life, who believed in himself and what the gift he's had as well. And while he eavesdropped on the dream of these two men, right, one of them had a dream, a terrible dream, and the other one also had another dream as well. So he went to them, both of them, and told them and told the first one and said, you know what, from a dream I heard you talk about to your friend, okay, in 3 days, the king is actually going to behead you. He's going to call you and they'll chop off your head. And he told the other guy and said, listen, based on your dream you had, in 3 days, the king is going to call you back and restore you back to your position, and you'll be fine right there. And so don't worry. And little did you know, in 2 days that happened, and the first guy was called and his head was chopped off. So the other guy in prison as well, also the second guy in prison with Joseph, was called by the king and he was restored back to his position. And of course, while he was leaving, Joseph had to run to him and say, hey, brother, listen, I just helped you. Remember me when you get out there. This place is not really conducive. You've tasted this place, how terrible this place is. Just remember me when you get to the palace. And the man looked at him and said, yes, I'm sure I'm going to remember you, Joseph. How many times have we helped people? How many times have you helped people that you tell them, oh, please, brother, remember me, sister, remember me, uncle, remember me, or, great things are happening and you help the person and you just want to return back. I mean, a good gesture of what you've done, which there's nothing wrong in that. And they just forget you. And this man forgot about Joseph for how many years? For good 2 years. He was still wasting in prison, rejected, dejected, felt the pain and all that. You can imagine, I can just imagine how he felt while he was yet in the prison and even feeling bad for helping people. But the truth is, his gift, when you have a gift, when a man has a gift, a talent, what you love to do, it doesn't matter how people treat you. You still go ahead and give your best, to share your gift and make the world better. And in 2 years, the king had a dream. That's Pharaoh himself had a terrible dream that he was restless. And he had to call all the sorcerers, all his advisors and all that to come and, just give him a solution to the dream. Yet this never happened. None of them. I mean, this was it's like a king or a president of a nation, right, calling all his advisors to come, or everybody he had around him that could advise him regarding all he had. So Pharaoh had that dream and nobody could give him that. Nobody could give him a solution. And what happened? This was a time that this guy came in, the butler came in and told the king and said, oh, king, I must tell you, sir, I know you're so worried. I've been seeing that each time I served you, you're not the happy man I used to see. But this is it, sir. I know a man, if you permit me, while I was in prison, then you jailed me in prison. I was there. I never knew where I was going to be. I never knew what tomorrow has for me. But I shared my dream and this young man came around and told me and said to me that in 3 days, you're going to release me and you're going to restore me back to my position while serving you. And so it's been like that, sir. And in fact, the other guy also, he said you were going to behead him and that happened. Do you mind if we call this guy? Because I feel this guy is going to help you. Now, That was somebody who remembered him after 2 years and spoke to Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said, go bring him down. And what happened? And they brought him down. Understand something, that when Joseph got to the king, as we know, based on the story, he was able to do what? To find a solution. He interpreted the dream. And even having interpreted the dream, Joseph only wanted to get out of prison. At the time, it wasn't a good place. He just didn't want to be, it doesn't belong. He just felt, I don't belong there. And he wanted to go out. But listen, when he interpreted the dream to Pharaoh, Pharaoh told him, thank you so much. Now I have some relief. But you know what? And he said, man, Joseph told him, he said, even aside from interpreting this dream to you, sir, you need to find somebody who can actually do this, take this project on, start it and finish it, see it through to the end. And what happened? And Pharaoh said, there's no other man in the land that can do this other than you that interpreted the dream. This brings me to the topic of today. It's your time. It's your time. It's your time. When it's your time, listen, there's no force, no forces, nobody can stop you, because God has actually designed that period for your time, because it's your season. God is going to open all doors for you to just go through and sail, just walk through without any obstruction. Have you had that project? Do you want to go back to school and you felt, well, I'm 40 years old, I'm 50 years old, I'm 35 years old, or you find yourself in an environment which is not conducive, that things are not going well, things are so terrible right there, things look very bad, and the reality is that yes, indeed, things are very, very bad where you find yourself right now. In fact, your environment doesn't even condone how you can move forward in life. But I want to tell you this story. It's your time. It's your time. And when it is your time, and because it is your time, God has opened up doors for you. You can't stop living your dream because you feel where you find yourself now, it's not conducive. Listen, it's only a season. But when the time comes for you to triumph, which is now, you better move. You better believe it. Because you know what? Your thought creates your belief. Your belief creates your conviction. Your conviction creates your perception. Your perception creates an attitude. And your attitude dictates your behavior. So you got to realize that. What business have you done before and you failed? In fact, what business do you want to start right now? And people, your friends, your families, in fact, the people you trust most in your life, your mentors. In fact, sometimes they just tell you, well, this is not going to work. This is never going to work based on this and this and this and this. And you just decide to give up. It's your time to pick up that dream. It's your time to pick up that business, to go back to that business. It's your time to go back to school. You want to have your MBA. You want to have your BSc. You've tried the exams and you failed several times. It doesn't matter, because you know what? This is your time. This is your time. That gift you have, you've been using. Even when you find yourself in obscure situations, you don't like yourself. You got to still start helping people, because you know what? Your gift shouldn't die with you. The richest place in the world today is a cemetery. Well, a lot of people, that's the richest place in the world. The richest place in the world is no country in the world. In fact, based on resources or whatever it is, it's a cemetery, because a lot of people died there with their dreams there. Understand that gift you have, that business you want to start, in 6 years, in 10 years, it's going to become $1 billion company. Somebody's destiny is on that dream of yours. Somebody's destiny is yet to start when you start that company. Because when you start the company, somebody's going to join that company. And from joining that company, working faithfully with you, being very loyal with you, ideas are going to come into their heart and they're going to start something as well. Don't kill that dream, because it's your time. I want to encourage you today, believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. This is it. When you know who you are, and you truly embrace yourself of who you are, you don't need to practice confidence. You don't even need to practice self-worth. Confidence will exude you naturally when you know who you are. And when you know who you are, There's victory on the inside of you. There's power to succeed on the inside of you. You got to be determined, because it's your time. Wherever you are right now watching this video, I just want you to say to yourself, it's my time. Say it to yourself till you mean it and believe it for yourself, because it's your time. There's no magic about it. The reality is it's your time. Keep doing nothing you're doing consistently. The only I that's a sin for failure is consistency. Be consistent with it, and you know what? God is going to see you through. Your dream, that door is going to open. That help you did, that help, how you helped somebody some years back, the person is going to remember you someday and just open up a door for you. Just like Joseph, you can remember he had to wait 2 years. Yours maybe 3 years. But you know what? You still got to be consistent. Understand where Joseph was coming from. Okay, and that's going to be another topic for another day. From the pit to the prison, and from the prison to the palace. So your story couldn't be different. Your encounter could be different, but understand that at the end of the day, victory is yours, and your time is now. Till we meet again, my name is Ade Adeshida. I am here all the time because your shift is now, and the time is now for you. God bless you.